Have you ever felt like you're just kind of going through the motions? Maybe you look successful on the outside, but on the inside, it feels a little empty? Well, today we're going to dive into Simon Sinek's framework for finding a much deeper sense of purpose, one that can transform not just your career, but pretty much your entire life.
For Sinek, this whole journey started from a real personal crisis. He had what anyone would call a great life, right? He had his own business, good clients, a solid income. But underneath all that, he'd totally lost his passion. He literally felt like an actor playing a role in his own life, and the energy it took to keep up that happy facade was just completely draining him. And it was hitting that low point that set him on the path to this really profound discovery: the power of why. This one single concept would completely redefine his understanding of fulfillment and really become the cornerstone of all his work. I mean, think about it. When someone asks you what you do, you have an answer, right? You're a marketer, an accountant, a student, a parent. That's the easy part. It's the tangible, everyday stuff that fills our calendars. But is that really all there is to it? And right here, this is where that disconnect happens. Beyond the paycheck, beyond the job title, what's the fundamental purpose, the cause, the belief that actually drives you? A teacher's what is to educate students, sure, but their why might be to empower the next generation. Sinek realized this was the piece he was missing. He knew his what, but he'd completely lost touch with his why. So here's the crucial thing to understand. Your why is not about you. It's not about being the best or making the most money. Sinek's research found that a true why is always positive. It's about serving others, it's about building something, creating something, or advancing something that contributes to the world around you. And this brilliant distinction really sets up a fundamental choice in how we live our lives. Are we just chasing a series of finite goals, or are we living out an infinite purpose? Now, what's so interesting here is this contrast. Goals are finite. They have a finish line. You win the award, you get the promotion, you hit the sales number. And then what? That feeling of what's next is a classic sign you're in a finite mindset. But an infinite purpose? That's a journey. It's not a destination. It's the direction you're always heading. It's like the difference between running a single race and embarking on a lifelong pilgrimage. Sinek uses this really powerful example of Olympians, like Michael Phelps. Their entire lives are built around one single, all-consuming goal: win that gold medal. Every relationship, every decision, it's all in service of that one thing. But what happens after they achieve it? So often, they fall into a deep depression. The very purpose that drove them for 20 years is just gone, and it leaves this huge void. But now, let's look at the flip side of that. Take Hall of Fame running back Curtis Martin. He saw his football career not as the end goal, but as the means to an end. For him, being an elite athlete was just step one. His real, infinite purpose was to build a platform that would let him serve his community after he retired. His what, playing football, was always in service of his why. Okay, so how do we actually make this shift? How do we move from a goal-chasing mindset to a purpose-driven one? Well, the answer lies in reframing our actions as acts of service. And this doesn't have to be some huge, world-changing gesture. It can be incredibly small and personal. Like, choosing to be healthy isn't just for you, it's so you can be present and energetic for your family, your friends, your team. Learning to be a better listener isn't just some self-improvement hack, it's a service you provide to make other people feel truly heard and valued. Sinek argues that the deepest, most profound sense of fulfillment we can experience as human beings comes from this very act of sacrifice. I mean, think about raising a child or falling in love. It is hard. It requires you to constantly put someone else's needs before your own. And yet, that's where we find this incredible joy. It's because those acts are in service of another person, and in that giving, we receive so much more. So, living a life of purpose isn't just a mindset. It actually requires a specific set of skills. Skills that, honestly, are often completely overlooked in our traditional education system. Sinek poses this fantastic question. We spend years and years learning complex math, but when do we ever learn the really essential human skills, like how to navigate a difficult conversation, or how to give and receive feedback, or how to just truly listen? Which one do you think is actually more valuable in your day-to-day life? So check this out. The Army Rangers identified this fascinating problem. They had soldiers who were amazing, top-tier performers whenever their superiors were watching. But as soon as the boss turned their back, they were awful teammates.
and the only people who knew the truth were their peers. So, they built a system to fix it. To advance in Ranger School, it's not enough for your instructor to approve of you. It's not enough that you can do the job. You also have to pass a peer review. Your own teammates have to agree that you're ready. This makes being a good team player just as important as individual performance, because out in the field, your team's survival depends on it. And this brilliant process brings up a critical skill: how to receive feedback. The rule in these peer reviews is that no matter how tough or how harsh the feedback is, your only permitted response is 2 words: thank you. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to receive it as a gift, because that person is doing something really uncomfortable to try and help you grow. And that is a skill you can practice. Okay, here is a beautifully counterintuitive idea. We usually think we build trust by offering to help people, but Sinek argues it's the exact opposite. Asking for help, that's an act of vulnerability. It's you saying, I can't do this alone. Think about a time a friend asked you for a favor. Didn't it make you feel valued, trusted? By asking for help, you give someone else the gift of being able to serve you, and that creates a really powerful, trusting bond. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question to really think about. Take a look at your goals, your ambitions, your daily actions. Are they just for you? Or are they fueling a larger, more infinite purpose of contribution? The answer might not be obvious right away, but the journey of discovering your why, well, that's a journey that can change absolutely everything.